The baseball rolled slowly through the shortcut grass. It tumbled twice, stitch over stitch, before coming to a stop near the dirt of the third baseline, 10 feet from the batter's box. Although the ball was in fair territory, no fielder made a move. No runners ran and no one called timeout. No one was watching the ball. Not the players on the field, nor the batter, nor the players in the dugout, nor the fans in the bleachers of the Rosedale High School baseball field. On that humid, muggy evening, deep in the Mississippi Delta, no one saw the ball come to a stop. Every eye in the stadium was instead watching the player laying at the end of the pitching mound, the player rolling on the ground where the dirt met the grass, the player clutching his arm, screaming in pain. Prior to his final start in the game of the Rosedale High School baseball season, Jamark Relaford was the Rosedale Eagles' ace pitcher. He was a 17-year-old phenomenon, already one of the most accomplished athletes in the history of the largely agricultural region of northwest Mississippi. With Rosedale High tucked deep in the rural farmland, most baseball people were leery of the drive to see Jamark pitch. At the behest of his high school baseball coach, however, one major league scout made the drive that night. During the regional high school championship against the Bulldogs from Natchez High School, Jamark had been better than perfect. Through the first 5 innings, none of the 17 batters from Natchez High School made contact with the ball. Jamark struck out every batter he faced and had yet to throw a pitch out of the strike zone. Everyone in attendance knew the Natchez Nine had no chance. As word spread throughout the crowd that a scout from the major leagues was in attendance, the masses grew more excited, cheering every pitch and roaring every eventual strikeout. During its history, Rosedale had seen its share of musicians attain big city riches, but never an athlete. The fans of Rosedale baseball were on the cusp of history. One of their own was about to make it. In the 6th inning, with his team leading 6-0, disaster struck. On his 6th pitch of the frame, a loud pop emanated from Jamark's left shoulder, shattering the shoulder at the joint and leaving the star pitcher writhing in pain. As coaches, players, and the crowd looked on in horror, Jamark's last high school pitch rolled meekly across the field, stopping near the third baseline. Some called the incident a tragedy. Others called it a shame. Some said it was hubris and humility catching up with a person growing too big for his britches. In an article for the local newspaper, the baseball scout who saw Jamark's arm dissolve into a limp mass of muscle called it possibly the biggest instantaneous loss of baseball talent ever.